Hello there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to our Chit Chat Talks, episode 18. I don't freaking know. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep, joined by co-host Anonymous Phil. Alright, let's roll the intro. One of these, not like the other. Did your brother decide what you want to do tonight?
No, I just want to join.
Ah. Okay then. Loser.
Yeah.
Are you going to your parents tomorrow then?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure what
I thought about it. And then I was like, when he didn't want to join, I was like, well, cause I could have just picked him up and then brought him here.
Right.
And then I was like, well, considering we also need to start at 7, I was kind of crunched for time. And I finally decided to leave my home.
Mm.
And then I was like, no, not tonight.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
Well, how are you?
Doing all right?
What'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? Work. Work. And work some more.
Nothing interesting about work ever.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I suppose there's something interesting that happens every day, but...
It bleeds into the background of life and...
Yeah.
You forget it exists.
No, it's just a lot of the interesting stuff that if I were to share would... There's a lot of backstory. Just because I've never shared anything. It's just...
Oh.
There's so much backstory that,
You need to start sharing. So then we have this foundational experience.
I see.
Just start like, yeah, so back when I first started, we used to do this thing. And then, this thing happened like 8 times. And now you understand the whole, it's like you just got to write The Hobbit, right? You just got to get The Hobbit out of the way so you can then understand Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
There you go. Is that the problem? You have a whole Hobbit to read? Whole freaking book?
A whole Hobbit to read aloud, yes.
Oh, wonderful.
8 novels worth of just jargon so you can get to the actual meat and potatoes of the story.
Which is only like 3 novels.
Currently.
Well, I mean, the guy's dead.
I'm only 6 months in.
Oh, you're talking about yourself. Oh, I thought you were talking about... I thought you were... I thought you were talking Lord of the Rings. I was like, I don't remember The Hobbit being 8 novels. I thought it was like
I'm saying I have like 8 novels of jargon to go over before you get to the actual meat and potatoes.
Ah, okay. Now it's...
I don't know if it's... Maybe a novel.
A novel?
A short story.
A short story? That's... Well, I mean, it's like 5,000 words.
A short story, wherever your little short story.
No, I gave it to my mentor. He's reading it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He gave me some... He was just like... He said he found it... Well, I can just quote him. What did he say exactly?
What did he say?
Because you haven't read the actual, first part of it.
No, you read a portion of it.
Right.
That sounded good.
So, basically, he says it's kind of hard to read. Lots of stuff coming at you all at once. Now, Friday morning, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. I had to pee. And then couldn't go back to sleep. So then from 3 to 4:30, I just sat there on my iPad reading and editing the thing. Because I was like, well, I want to see what he's talking about. And I was reading through the conversation that Brad and Carlos have about FTL travel.
Okay.
And when I was reading it, I realized I wrote it as if they were 2 people who knew about this stuff and were just talking to each other about it.
Oh, so you're just basically... It's like someone walking in and hearing the middle of a conversation.
Well, no, it's like you understand what FTL means.
Yeah, faster than light.
Right. Most people don't know what that means. Even though Brad does say faster than light travel, he doesn't say the acronym FTL next to that at any point.
Yeah.
He just says FTL later in the conversation.
That is kind of the rule that I was told in writing. I don't remember what it was. I think it was in middle school. that whatever you want to use an acronym that isn't like a well-known acronym, like for example, like say a state name or something, you know.
Right.
You have to use it at least. You have to use it once before you use that acronym again, and typically people use it side by side. Let's say like Nebraska, NE, and then the next time you want to reference it, you can just say NE, because you've already referenced it before.
Right. Well, yeah. So I wrote it, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, of course. I was like, well, duh. I mentioned faster than light travel, but didn't say FTL, and that was like
so just say,
2 or 3 paragraphs
ago. So when you
ago.
first refer to faster than light, to say FTL, just say faster than light, commonly referred to as FTL.
Yeah, and there were some other parts in there, and I'm also going through the conversation. It's just like I can see how it would be a lot if you don't know anything at all about relativity or traveling faster than light. Because like I give a pretty okay explanation. You know, I had to simplify a lot of things because, you know, I didn't want it to just be, because it's already like several paragraphs of Brad just doing a monologue about how what irritates him about how movies do FTL and movies and comics or whatever. And if you don't know that much about that, or you don't have a background, or you're not nerds like us, it's probably a lot. Yeah. You're probably just like, whoa, okay, I don't know what, okay. You got to have a understanding of relativity to understand, like, wait, why does going the speed of light cause time to slow down relative to you? You know?
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. And then everyone else...
time would stop at
yep.
light speed.
And,
0.
Right. And also, you know, and then also Brad talks about... but I give examples later on, kind of like, you know, think about it. Okay, if I flew to Alpha Centauri, right? Let's say we're going like 99% speed light. It's still going to take me 4 damn years to get there. It's going to feel like 4... but it's only going to feel like you'd have to do the math for so long for me. But for everyone else, it still took me 4 years to get there. And then for me to get back, I've been gone for 8 years. So now let's imagine you wanted to go to the edge of the universe. Thank God time dilation is going to help you, and you're going to be able to get there, you know, faster than, you know, what was the first, it was, I actually went and Googled what galaxy we knew in 2017 was the furthest from Earth. Because I couldn't say the latest one, because, well, that's the story's set in 2017, not 2024.
Yeah.
And basically that who's going to be first is going to get replaced constantly.
There's another way you could do that. How do I escape? I wonder if this would work. And then we went to more. Time. And we went to 2017. Is this what you got?
No.
This is all stories published before before that date.
It's NGZ11.
NGZ11?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, because see, all these articles are things that came out before. So
NGZ11. They're GNZ11. Sorry, my bad.
Oh yeah, by NASA, 2016. So what is this one by Space Dock? Oh, is this? When did this come out? 2012.
I was gonna say, I think that's an old record. I think that's an old record holder.
13.3 light years, billion light years. And what was NGZ11? 13.4. Okay.
Yeah. But this was pretty... GNZ11 was pretty... was kind of cutting edge for 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is another way you could go, like, if you have that issue again. Because, for example, there was one day I looked up COVID. but I wanted to know all articles before 2019. Because I was curious, you know, what like if like let's just say you looked up what is COVID before it was ever a thing. Disease control, because it was a thing. Coronavirus was a thing.
Yeah, the coronavirus.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
There was a COVID-19 article published in 2010.
I wonder if I bet you this isn't like the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing
it doesn't completely work.
So you're not seeing you're seeing what articles would have shown up, but you're not seeing those articles as they were
published back then. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So what you could do is you go to news, because this should work like that. Because these, like anything, like a Nature article that was published, this is what that would have looked like.
Yeah.
Like a paper or something that was published. But the websites, yeah, you're not seeing the website as it was. Mm-hmm. Like for example, like say some YouTube video was published before then, you would not see YouTube as it looked in from 2017.
No, you wouldn't.
And actually, it's kind of cool because there are YouTube videos that, you know, they show you like the history of YouTube.
I've seen them.
It's always, you get some nostalgia feel from that.
Well, anyway, so back to the writing thing. As I read it, I was like, there are some details that are just like, but at the same time, you know, I think you just have to. It just has to be that way, because I'm trying to think if there's any science fiction I've listened to recently that would go over your head. Oh, Contact. When Carl Sagan's talking about her inventing that coming up, she like came up with a compound or whatever, or somehow invented a way to make a more sensitive radio telescope. It's at the very beginning of the book. You might not remember. It's been a few years since you listened to it.
No.
That's all just... It's like, you're just like, sure, okay. You know, you don't... It might be... That might actually be how they do it. You don't really know.
Yeah.
And, well, and, you know, they explain... There's... the only thing I can think of right now is in Jurassic Park, but Jurassic Park it's all biology, and it's mostly about animal behavior, so it's nothing like, you know, it's animal behavior, it's if this then that statement, basically. Right, it's just, so it's pretty logical and easy to find. It's not like, oh, it says this weird word and you're like, what the hell is that word?
Yeah.
So, oh, The Martian.
The Martian?
The Martian's a great example.
Of what?
Of just, you know, you just have to, you know, he's talking, because like at the beginning, he's just throwing details at you about how his suit clogged and how the system works. And like, if you're not into sci-fi, you're going to be like, what? You're not probably used to like just details being thrown at you like that.
Yeah.
Because I would say if you don't know a lot about space or Mars exploration or really anything at all, just like basic average knowledge of what most people know, which is probably wrong, and you start listening to The Martian,
you feel like you get overwhelmed with details.
You would get overwhelmed very fast. You're like, well, I didn't know this about Mars. What is what? You know.
Yes.
So. And I think at some point you just have to be like, you're just not the audience for the book. But that's only like it's only this section, and like the beginning of this section. By the end, it's just like it's just a story. You know, this next part I'm gonna make, it's not science heavy at all. The second I finished writing the first section. I'm gonna go back through it again and read it because I only got like halfway. Before I was like, all right, I'm.
But I feel
tired.
like that's just kind of sci-fi in general because sci-fi caters to a specific audience
Mm-hmm.
who are very interested in, say, STEM fields.
Right.
And typically people in STEM fields, at least from what I come across, they're the type of people that they don't like to take things at face value. They like to truly understand how they work, all the intricacies. And so they appreciate all the details that are thrown in about how something actually works, rather than just saying, oh yeah, it does this. But they talk about, what is it that makes it special? How does it actually do that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so the author puts in all the extra work for the details, because typically the audience member who is interested in that sort of thing, in the sort of topic, would also appreciate the details that they're throwing at them.
Well, maybe 43 minutes, you won't be able to get through it. You'll be able to probably get through at least close to half of what I've written. I can make sure the iPad gets charged up and you can read it on our way out there.
Yeah.
Although the iPad is currently here, almost dead.
Oh.
It's being I'm using its charger to charge the C-Star, but
You only have one charger?
it's super fast brick
Oh.
that works well with the iPad. Luckily, I do have it's in my tech bag.
I've always wondered, though. So you use that for the C-Star as well?
Yeah.
Because I've asked the battery guys this, and none of them know, because it just hasn't been around long enough. And because the technology is so new.
Mm-hmm.
But the impact that fast charging has on the life of a battery. None of them know. But because it's one of those things where it hasn't been around long enough to know how fast charging, how significant of an impact it could have on the actual battery life. Like, because you'd have to run 2 case studies, a battery that's never used fast charging but has the capability to be fast charged, and a battery that's only been used fast charged, and then you run them to the end of their life.
Actually, we know it's bad.
By how much? Because it's one of those things.
How much?
Because it sounds bad, like to fast charge a battery, but how detrimental is it?
We know it's pretty bad.
What's pretty bad mean? Like, does it shorten its life by 20%?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Because it heats up the battery, as you know.
Yes.
And it causes, so like there's a Chinese phone that charges it like 60 watts.
Mm-hmm.
Which is insane. I think the iPad, when I say fast charge, I'm talking like maybe 30 watts.
Mm-hmm.
Apple doesn't use very fast charging for their devices, especially on the iPhone, because their big reasoning why they don't provide fast charging or fast wireless charging is because it's bad for the batteries, and so they're looking out for you. It's also possible they just don't want to do it. It's just Apple being Apple.
Apple made a fast charger, though.
Yeah, but it's meant for your laptop.
I thought they made one for the phone too.
Yes, they just now, eventually did.
Oh.
5 years after everyone else already started the trend.
Oh, okay.
They jumped on the trend after everyone else was like, bro. They jumped on it and they're like, okay, we're going to give you 30 watts.
But maybe they're...
But, China was already up to 60.
Maybe they were skeptical of this whole thing, too. Because maybe if it came out where,
that's what they told us. That's literally what they told us. That's why they told us that's why they waited.
No, but what I'm saying is, what if they wait? What if they're waiting because they felt like the issue could have been much bigger than it actually was? Like, it was setting fires to people's phones.
Oh, like the old Note, like the old Note 7s?
Yeah, because I feel like if people found out about, no one would buy these phones, because now it's setting them on fire, and so now Apple didn't even jump into it, so you can't really blame them for that.
True. No, and nobody, and they're still just like, okay, thanks Apple, but the standard's more like 40 watts.
Yeah.
You don't need the crazy 60 watts that China does.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that because they do 2 batteries.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 batteries in there, and they're charging each one at 30.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's a total of 60.
Yeah.
Which I was just like, why don't we do that with all of our fucking batteries in our phones? sacrifice just a little bit of of capacity in exchange for I can have super fast charging without potentially damaging my batteries. Because 30 watts each is going to produce a lot less heat than if that was actually native 60 watts.
Yeah.
Theoretically. It might not, it's the amount of energy going in the phone.
I actually don't even know how phones are charged. Are they charged constant current or current limiting constant potential?
Not a clue.
Not a clue, okay.
No one ever gets that in depth when they talk about phone charging.
Well, the reason why I asked is because of the chemical makeup of batteries, it varies, how you charge a lead acid in an iCAD, which is why I know that, but I don't know lithium ion and how it's designed.
I will say not every battery can be charged super fast.
Yeah.
iPhone, and then also you have to have it built in.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I still find it crazy that some devices, if you hook them up to the fast charger, it fries them because they're not built to stop that current from going through.
Yeah.
Or they're not built in a way that can tell the charger, hey, or the charger is built in a way to, hey, don't send me this current, I can't handle it. They can't talk to each other.
Yeah, that's why you have current limiting control.
Yeah.
On your power supply.
They're like, hey, I can't handle this. So, good chargers, good cables, and, higher end phones, they will talk to each other.
Yeah, that is another thing. You need to pay attention to your cables. Because we had some stuff that we charge at 11 amps, and we use the wires are they're rated for 8 amps. You can use single lead wires. Just because the time that's exposed to 11 amps, it'll get warm, but it can still handle it for the period of time that it'll be at 11 amps. But typically, it's recommended that we double lead them, because then the current traveling through each wire is cut in half. So really, it's 5.5 amps through each wire. So
something I wish phones would do. This is a feature that I feel like contradicts what the company wants.
Mm-hmm.
A company wants you to keep buying phones, or at the very least, keep buying batteries. So it is not in the company's, it's literally not in the company's best interest to design a phone, software-wise, mm-hmm. that takes care of the battery. It's not in their interest.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish they did. I wish they would design a way that's like, okay, so when it tells you you're at 100%, it's actually only at the battery's 80% capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it says it's down to 0, it actually still has 10% or whatever left total capacity in the battery, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the safest minimum charge is.
Yes, that is a thing with lithium that I actually didn't know till I was working at the battery shop. They told me about because the guy, the team leader, he knows just a lot about just different battery chemistries, not just... His main expertise is, NiCad and lead acid, right. Obviously, but he knows...
He's a nerd. He probably goes home and reads spec sheets on freaking batteries all night. Just ooh.
Maybe. But, no.
Ooh, Panasonic's got a new...
So there was...
cell coming out? Mm.
So it's called the DMS, or no, BMS, Battery Monitoring System.
Yep.
And basically, there's 2 voltage levels with lithium. Mm. And so, as you use the battery, its voltage drops. When it crosses this first flat line, the battery, it shuts off your phone, and you cannot restart it. And basically, that means your battery is done when it crosses this line. And it needs to be recharged, because continuing to use it could cause detrimental problems for this next line. Because over time of being significantly discharged, the next line, if you were to pass this line and try to charge it, it would start on fire and blow up.
Fun. Wonderful. How nice.
And so basically it monitors the system of the battery, and basically when the battery crosses this second line, it's done. You cannot charge it. It will refuse to let current enter it. Because my phone, my old phone, I just kind of threw it in my closet. I wanted to charge it the other day just for fun. It would not charge because it crossed that line. And if you were to hook up the battery directly to power, it more than likely, just from what the literature suggests, it would start on fire, start to smoke, and
wonderful,
and ruin your device. Which is why as soon as it gets depleted, it shuts off. So that way you don't continue to use it so it crosses the next line.
Okay.
I don't know how long it has to sit discharged to cross how long that level is, but yeah. I just know that is a thing.
Anyways, I think even above that though, where the company puts it, I think there's even like another level where it's like you don't want to go below that. Yeah. Traditionally, because that is still bad for the battery.
Well, yeah, because they say like what 20% or whatever.
I think so, right? So which leaves you with only 60% of your total battery that you can possibly use.
Well, yeah, because 80% of compared to where it was when it was new.
Well, yeah, because we don't want to use the top 20% because that damages it.
To charge it completely?
Yeah. And we don't want to use the bottom 20% because that damages it. So you're left with 60% of your total battery.
Yep.
But see, that's the thing though. But see, in a company's eyes, that doesn't do them. And then as the phone gets older, it will stretch into those ranges because it needs the extra juice to maintain the lifetime of the battery. But it knows it's already aging at that point.
Hang on a minute. What if we just renamed what we name 100%? So the battery. What if the charger only charges it to 80%? But your phone displays it as 100. Well, no,
so that's what I want companies to do. Because
people wouldn't know the difference. They're like, oh yeah, it's 100% charged. But really, it just stops charging the battery. Like if you theoretically looked at the electron count and everything, you could count it. It's only 80% charged. But you're just going to tell people, you're just going to call it 100.
The thing is, though, companies tell you the milliamp hours of their batteries. That's a big advertising thing. So if you advertise your milliamp hours as this, people do the math and like, okay, here's how much I should be able to get out of it.
Here's how much usage I'm doing.
But then when it only gets 80%, you're like, the fuck? Turns out, we're software limited.
Then you tell people that's what you're doing. You tell people, would you be, or rather,
what needs to be an option. But the thing is, it's not in the company's best interest to design the software because that means the battery lasts longer and the phone lasts longer. A phone lasting longer is expensive for a company because you're not buying new products, and I have to keep making software for old phones that nobody's buying anymore.
Yeah.
I lose money on you having an old phone. So a company has no incentive on doing that, even though it's better for society and the planet.
Does Apple still support my phone?
What is it?
It is
the new SE. I think so.
The SE second generation. It's
they haven't come out with. I think they'll probably drop it when they come out with the third, if they ever do. So.
Third SE, if they do.
Yeah, I mean.
I know the iPhone wiki has a chart that has all of it on there. It was
lifespan. There you go.
Ended. So we look at ended. They did make a third one.
Oh.
March 2022.
I didn't realize that.
It is still supported. Current.
There you go.
They have not dropped it yet. So this one was supported until last year. So it seems like.
Oh, the X is dead.
Almost every year.
I remember the iPhone X. I remember.
It came out in 2017.
I remember it and the XR. Oh, man. I completely forgot about that phone, to be honest. Because, like, I knew one person with it. It was like the first OLED screen on a phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, it was when they came up with the notch.
The notch?
Yeah. You know, on the top of your screen, well, yours probably doesn't have that. Oh, no, yeah, the notch. That's what they call that. The notch. Well, actually, they call it the dynamic. Well, no, it's a notch. Yeah.
But the screen stops down here.
Oh, yours doesn't go around it.
Yeah.
See how mine goes around my camera?
Yeah, no, my phone doesn't do that. So you can see the screen stops right there.
Oh, I didn't realize the second gen didn't have a notch. Never mind.
No, my phone doesn't have a notch.
Ah. Does my iPad? I don't think so. No, it doesn't.
It has a line.
Yeah.
It has 2 lines, one for the bottom. So it doesn't even go down to the... Because does it go down to the home screen? The new phones?
They don't have a home button.
Oh, so that's the thing. I have a home button.
Yeah, yours is like the last phone they did with a home button.
Yeah.
The 10 got rid of the home button.
My phone is the design of the 6 with the software of whatever the current one was when they made it. So the 11.
Yeah. Because the 10 is when they got rid of the the home button.
Yeah, they threw the software of the 11 in the body of a 6.
With the power of the 11, right? Or
Yes. It has
or like the previous
So
gen,
it has
probably.
like the A13 Bionic chip or whatever the chip was that came out with that. That's what it had.
Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, there you go. It shows you the notch.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you see the notch at the top of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they finally got fucking rid of it in their latest iPhone.
Oh, the 15?
Yeah. Now they have a dynamic island, as they call it. Because they still had it. It has to because they still have the Face ID stuff in it. So it has like the dot projector, the infrared sensor, and all that bull crap.
Oh, sales.
So, I think the 6 or the 7 was the most sold iPhone of all time. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was my first smartphone.
I think the 7
was the 6. Technically, I think it was the 6S.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 6S. Look at the years. Because it came out, it was the new phone of that year. And I got it. It was a Christmas gift. Technically, this one also was a Christmas gift. So they're gonna make a SE4 here soon, then, right?
No, 22 was the last time they made one, and then before that was 2018, wasn't it?
2020.
Oh, every 2 years?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. So 2016.
Oh, but see, they went a really long break between doing SEs, so it might be 4 years. It might be 2 years.
Yeah.
It might be never.
I don't know about never. I don't know. I feel like eventually they'll make one, and it's just hard telling how long.
Right.
I think I did tell you, though, how...
You want to go Android, though, because you want to get like the Samsung's camera system, right?
Well, it was either the Android or the Pixel. Because the Pixel has...
The Samsung or Pixel, yeah.
Because the Pixel has their astronomy mode, which is apparently really good.
Oh, yeah.
I've read some reviews about what it can do, and I think it's the newest one. They made a Pro that has the body of their small one.
Oh yeah, kind of, yeah.
So they kind of gave it all the power, but for the similar size, and so kind of. And so Marcus was talking about like how he thinks it might be one of their more sold products.
Oh, is it?
Because they have the 8, the 8 Pro, and then the 8 Pro Max or whatever.
Yeah.
And their Pro, the Pro is more expensive, but it's just like it's their smaller design with the big package.
Yeah.
And so it feels like if the price isn't a turnoff, it may be a big seller.
Oh yeah.
Because it does cost more.
But yeah.
So if the price,
it's normal flagship price.
So if the price doesn't deter people, it may be a big hit.
It's normal phone flagship price. So.
But it still is, like $1,000 a pop or whatever. So.
Well, that's a phone for you these days.
Yeah. My phone was like $400.
Well, yeah, but didn't you? But wasn't it already old? Or was it brand new at that point?
No, it was brand new. It was technically 6 months old.
And you didn't have a trade in, right? Because you're
No,
old. You didn't.
They wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take it. It was also, that was just the price of the phone at the time, or for whatever reason their SE, I don't know. They just sold it cheaply, I guess, because I guess they figured a lot of people would be buying the 11. It was underrated, I guess.
I don't think you can buy something from Apple for $400 that isn't headphones.
Yeah.
So even then, I think the AirPods Max, which is like 5 years old at this point, they're like $550.
Yeah.
And everybody hates them.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll be getting a refresh. It's Techtember here now, so that's what
Is that what
Mark,
they call it?
that's what Marquez calls September.
Techtember. I haven't watched them enough to be familiar with the term.
Yeah, so
All right.
yep, it's September, so it means all the cool new tech.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. He always talks about it at the end of the year when he goes over and he talks about best phones of the year. And a lot of them get released in the last quarter or so. But he always has to mention, though, but then when he goes to give, often Samsung wins phone of the year or comes up runner up or something.
So that was...
And he always mentions it. He's like, I will point out, Samsung kind of forgot because they released in January.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing. From what I've read, camera wise, Samsung has like the best camera. If you want to from like astronomy or just simply taking pictures or whatever. But their problem is that the phone that does that is massive. It's a Pro Max or whatever. And so
the Pixel's still better.
And so, is it?
Everybody likes the Pixel photos better because the Pixel photos are more natural and true to life. Most people would look at a Samsung photo and be like, yeah, I like that one better because it oversaturates. It makes things brighter and more colorful. Despite the fact it's not true to life. Because
the other thing I was going to say, though, is that but when comparing sizes, the best size phone, I think, is the Pixel.
Yeah. Comparing
just... so you just eliminate their largest sizes and just look at those.
Yeah. The best video camera in a phone is still iPhones. They're insane. They're
the one feature I don't really use much.
Yeah. But it's great. On the new ones, anyways. I mean, they've been king of the video forever. Yeah. Andrew's always been kind of junky. They're slowly catching up. But Apple's been doing such crazy stuff recently, so it's even harder for them to catch up.
I can't wait though so Apple, their first, when they made their whole VR set. I remember their Constellation mode.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to make or maybe another company or something to make a VR set designated specifically towards astronomy. Like they put
bro, that's like 5 people that'll buy that.
They put Stellarium. Well, at least make it or at least until Stellarium makes an app for VR. Well, I guess maybe that'll be the route they go. Because Stellarium already is a niche market of its own.
Yeah.
But they could cater to almost all their customers who would have a VR set by offering this app.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So you just offer this app to the Oculus Rift or whatever, or Apple if they ever allow apps. Because wasn't their whole thing where they won't allow it? They don't have a Netflix app or whatever. Because the only way to access Netflix is by going through Chrome and opening up Netflix within Chrome.
So it wasn't that they weren't allowed. They were just some app developers. They were having some arguments with them because it's Apple. They're always having arguments with people. And then also it's a brand new product, and developing an app for a brand new product is very expensive. So you have to make sure, am I going to get my money's worth out of developing it? So the first gen app support's probably going to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But the second gen, or if they decide to make a cheaper version of the Apple, which is what Marquez thinks is going to be the next Vision Pro, if Vision 1 sold enough, because it already has the Pro mark on it. So
Yeah.
you think there will be an Apple Vision, which may be the next one, should be cheaper.
Okay.
And that one may sell a lot better
Yeah.
and will have. I hope they don't go too far on the cheap end because they have the best display. Unless you want to get like unless you want to get one that's like custom fitted to your face and is like meant for is meant for.
Aren't theirs already though? Aren't they already front heavy? Or does it have or is the battery on the back?
The battery goes in your pocket.
What's in the pocket? Okay.
Yes, it's very front heavy because it's made out of a solid block of machined aluminum.
Yeah.
For whatever goddamn reason.
Can make it out of carbon.
I don't know anything else but a solid chunk of fucking aluminum. Anyways,
can't they 3D print it? 3D print the case?
You could injection mold it like everyone else does. Why it's machined aluminum, I don't know. That's Apple for you.
I mean, it would have a durable feel to it.
Oh yeah, it's super. That's
it
why
would
they
feel
did it.
robust, but I don't know if that's really necessary.
That's Apple though. It's got to be that way. And and the thing is though, it unless you make it out of plastic, it can't get any lighter because aluminum's lighter than frickin' titanium. So, I guess you could theoretically just make things
carbon.
thinner. Well, I said other than plastics. That's you make it out of carbon fiber. That's a composite material, and it's basically mostly plastic.
Yeah.
Very similar. Very similar. It's long chains of carbon, except there's no hydrogen, which is what it's a hydrocarbon, but there's no.
Which weighs it down even more.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, it's plastic without the crap that weighs it down.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just
It's
the carbon.
It's plastic without the crap that makes it heavier.
Yeah, pretty much.
The one element that makes it heavier.
Well, no, not the one element, because that's a hydrocarbon. I think it's more like I don't know. No, yeah, it's plastic. It is hydrocarbon. Never mind. Yeah, it's hydrogen. It's literally made from fucking oil.
Carbon's heavy, man.
No, hydrogen's heavy apparently.
Hydrogen.
No, but zooming back out here, we're talking material science. But anyways, they make a cheaper version. I think people will buy. I just don't want them to sacrifice the screens because they literally have the best screen in a VR headset. That's not like some business centric one that like each one's handcrafted.
How much lighter would it be if let's say they kept the same size, same everything, except just built it out of 3D printed material or just like carbon fiber or whatever?
Well, it would it'd break. It would break? I think you would need to still have some metal components.
Why would it break?
Oh, because you would literally do this and it would just fucking break and crumble.
Really?
Yep.
Because of how thin you'd have to make it?
Well, no, yeah, because otherwise it's going to be huge on your face. They also made the front out of glass, so there's that.
how it would break?
It's plastic.
Yeah, but if it's I just think of it as just a shape, and a shape that has stuff inside of it. The idea of you making it sound like it'll just crumble.
Well, the problem
like
is
sand.
The thing is, it needs to be strong. But
carbon fiber's not strong.
No, okay, if it built it out of carbon fiber, it'll be fine.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Oh, I thought we're just building out of just normal plastic.
No, well, I originally said 3D printed material, but now that you keep criticizing it, I'm like, fine, let's build it out of carbon fiber.
Oh, well then, yeah, that'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Except you'll have to put antenna lines somewhere because carbon fiber conducts electricity, and so it would be a Faraday cage.
So build a little hole with little...
Also, if it does break, it'll be a dangerous piece of material to have. Because A, you'll have little bits of carbon that'll end up in your lungs, and B, it'll be very sharp. It's also going to be very expensive to make.
Carbon fiber?
Yes.
3D printed would break?
Yeah. Because the problem is, like I was saying, okay, if you want a really tough plastic, like this is really tough plastic.
Yeah.
Problem is, it's really flexible. That's what makes it tough. You don't want flexible in a product. So you need something rigid. But if you make it rigid, it becomes brittle. You'd have to find just the right place. But usually, you don't want to... But usually, you just make the plastic thicker, and that overcomes the problem. Yeah. But then it gets bulky.
Oh.
But then again, this is also very... There's a lot of play with this.
Well, I wonder, okay, so it feels... How much Apple... How much... Alright, so... How much space can be minimized with the case? Like, if I opened up the Vision Pro, how much air space is there?
0.
It's packed with stuff. With lenses and electronics and stuff.
Okay, well, obviously there's air, like between the screens and the lenses is a lot of air, but there has to be because it's lenses.
I was thinking
the focal length has to be the way it is.
So it's as thick as it can. It's as thin as it possibly can be.
Well, not necessarily. You can start getting rid of features.
Like what?
The whole stupid front glass thing. Where it literally has a screen on the front of it so people can see your eyes. You can get rid of all that shit.
Okay.
That'll make it thinner. And you don't have to make the freaking front out of glass.
Yeah.
It can just be plastic. So, that's actually one of the things that, I mean...
So, if they were to get rid of something on the Vision, if they make a Vision that's not a Pro... That could be a good feature to get rid of.
Yes. That will definitely be one of the things that
they should consider.
Yeah. It'll probably be lower res, I would assume.
No, but I was thinking keep same spec, same everything, just limiting specific hardware components.
They will probably have to, I would say, there might be less cameras on it. Less, so that they don't have to pass through anymore, like you have on the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah,
they might get rid of that, so that they can get away with putting a slower processor in it.
No, keep the same speed.
Well,
now it's just fast.
But see, the thing is, then people are like, "Why the hell would I get? Why would I want? Why? How come I can have all this power that I? The Gen 1 literally has a computer processor in it.
Yeah.
Why not just put like an iPad processor in it, or phone processor?
Keep the same everything. Just get rid of the glass eyeball things.
I really don't know how much more. Well, there's a bit of space because the screens move.
The screens move.
Yeah, so they can get just the right orientation with your eyeballs, because they scan your eyes. And they line it up, and it's crazy what the Vision Pro is able to do.
I was just curious, how much weight could I take off? So first you get rid of all the extra stuff on the front, and then you just put it in a new, lighter housing.
I think you could probably build what you could do if you want to make it light. You'd have to figure out, okay, what would be lighter, titanium or aluminum, for a internal frame to hold all the electronics on, to provide some rigidity to it. Okay, is it worth going to titanium? Titanium does have a higher density than aluminum, but usually you have to add more aluminum to get the same strength. So can I get rid of enough aluminum in exchange for titanium to make it...
I was just curious, what if we built the whole thing, so it's just one big... What if we just built one big carbon brick, but, we cut out holes for the lenses to slide into. So it's just this carbon brick.
That is so... You can't just machine carbon fiber. It doesn't just machine, sir. There's a reason it's like the strongest material known to man. It doesn't just machine.
Machine. Like you just build it, you piece it together like Legos or something.
Yeah, no, you don't do that. That would be so expensive and you'd waste so much material. But yes, theoretically, if you could do that,
then it would be lighter. And
it'd be impressively light.
And it would still have the rigidity it needed.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But the way you have to build carbon fibers with that is that overlapping lattice. So, if you want to like cut weight, for example, like normally how if you're like you take a piece of material, right? Let's say I have this big open stretch of just bare aluminum, right?
Yeah.
That I'm sticking components on, but it needs to have a certain thickness to it. But at the same time, I don't need a solid piece. So you would cut. You'd have cross braces like this in it.
Yeah.
Because like the one side needs to be flat, but the other side doesn't need to be, but it still needs to provide strength. And I want all the strength I can get. You cut, lines into it, machine lines, and then this is hollow here. Not hollow, but if we look at it from a side perspective, this is basically, it kind of look like that. And then you have these little walls every so often, or whatever, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it. Because like on the one side you need this nice flat piece of aluminum, but it doesn't really matter what it looks like on the inside. Because I'm not attaching anything to that side. But I need the strength, but I don't need but I hate how much weight there is. They do that in rockets, so they machine rectangles out. Hold rectangles of aluminum out. You can show you the inside inside of New Blend. Oh my god, I can't type like this. Oh my god, I can't. Oh, do they have a photo? I don't want to go pull up Everyday Astronauts video. Oh, here it is. Let me see if...
A little bright. Can you move your angle so I'm not looking at the
sun?
Frickin'
Facebook compressed it into oblivion. You can't see it. God damn it. Fine. We'll do it the frickin' hard way. Everyday Astronaut. Everyday Astronaut.
Hi, it's me.
Okay. Here. Aft section, forward section, machine shop. Is this one that go inside? No, it's a different one. Ah, here we go.
Looks like the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's where they got the photo from. He shows it later. More detailed, but I can't. Oh god, this video's so long. I don't remember. Oh, it's in the machine shop. Here we go. Here we go. On these giant sheets. Let's see where'd the giant sheets go. There's the giant sheets of aluminum. They literally get these giant, thick-ass plates of aluminum in, and then they machine these rectangles out of it. Maybe it's at the beginning. Oh, yeah, there you go. See? See how this was one giant cast sheet of aluminum that they then machined out these big rectangles.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Yeah.
The people can see it if they're still watching. So this is what I was talking about. So because you need because this is on the inside of the booster, the other side's the outside because you need that to be streamlined for aerodynamics. But then on the inside, we want to have all the strength. So that's what you would do. You can't do that with carbon fiber. I don't think you can machine it like that.
But you could 3D print it like that.
You certainly probably could, yeah.
So if you 3D printed it like that, then it could have the strength it needed.
Probably, yeah.
So that's how we 3D print it. Just like that.
Oh, yeah, just like that. Simple
as that.
So simple. Yeah. So simple.
Just simple.
It's miraculous we don't build more things like that. Oh, wait, we don't. For a good reason.
And what might that be? But it's 3D printed, sir. Just code the little lines in there and you're good.
3D printing doesn't mean cheap.
It could just use the right material that's cheap.
3D printing is meant for prototypes.
But you're mass producing prototypes.
Why would you want to mass produce prototypes? That's like when they were talking about that rocket company that was going to 3D print rockets.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
It's
Whatever happened to them? Are they still...
I think they're still working on their freaking rocket.
They're still 3D
They were going to... Their big thing was they're going to beat SpaceX with the space with their giant rocket.
Are they?
No. Starship is literally...
Not done.
It's literally ready to go to space.
It is literally not done.
No. The thing is... Starship is as functional as every other rocket is currently.
Mm-hmm.
Because most rockets are not reusable.
Okay.
So as it stands, it is...
Ready to go.
It is, yeah.
It is on the launch pad, waiting for the go.
Actually, it is. They're waiting for the... and that's not on the launch pad, but they are just waiting for the FAA to give them the go-ahead. Damn,
when is the next launch?
Probably this week or next week.
This week or next week?
Yeah.
Elon hasn't posted about it?
No. We'll find out tomorrow. There's to see if...
On Labor Day?
I have this YouTuber that posts on Mondays. He's in the UK, so I know for a fact he'll post tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, they're probably not affected by Labor Day.
Nope.
U.S. thing.
Yeah, so he'll post tomorrow. Usually the best indicator is when you see the detonator guys come out carrying explosives.
Outside?
Because that's the launch termination system.
Out here?
No. At Starbase, you'll see guys carrying out explosives. That means like we're days away because you don't want just chunks of, I'm assuming C4 lying around, before launch. You do it right. You do it right before you launch.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I haven't heard anything like that, Elon also hasn't said anything.
Yeah, well, that's I figured he'd post about it.
It's just the FAA. Just taking their sweet ass time. They grounded them again, actually, because they had one their booster didn't land properly. We're still not 100% sure what happened, but it went to go land and it blew up. It was its 23rd landing, so like. That's 23 times more any other rocket's ever done. Well, I should say, I mean, Blue Origin's, this is Jeff Bezos here. His company has a rocket that lands, but like, it doesn't go to orbit. So,
his rocket lands?
Yeah. So for orbital class rockets, it's done it 23 times more than anybody else. So the fact that it broke on the 23rd time is like, oh, all right. It's crazy impressive. It's not like... So, but the weird thing is, though, several years ago, the rocket crashing on its landing was not a big deal. The FAA wouldn't ground them. But now the FAA is like, oh, no. That's a danger to society.
Yeah.
You're grounded till you figure it out. Actually, I just learned the FAA is still... Their investigation is still open into the last SpaceX mishap from like a month ago.
Oh, really?
They're still working on that investigation. SpaceX isn't grounded anymore, but they're still working on that investigation. But SpaceX is no longer grounded. The FAA gave them the go-ahead to go launch, but of course the FAA is still doing their investigation, and God knows when they will close those investigations out. Because they're bureaucrats, and they will take 8 million years before we find out, oh yeah, it's, I guess it's fine. But, it's a mixed bag, because on one hand, you're like, come on, FAA, it's one mistake. But on the other hand, it's like, if the FAA wasn't here, we'd all probably be dead.
Yep, probably.
There'd be planes just crashing all the time. So,
yeah.
Anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcasts, Fridays, noon, Central Time, and good night.